Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of January 18th through the 24th. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 19th. And of course, that's a really good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to learn a new skill or start any new work that you might want to do, both in your inner and outer world. We then move into the waxing crescent energy for the rest of the week. And that is a time of heightened senses, a good time to really live up to our expectations and our intentions. And we've just got the energy to work on those things that we've just started during the new moon. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Aquarius. So as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading: nothing is yet set in stone. All right, let's see what the Aquarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, my fun, friendly reminder this week is that you take the time to learn something new. So pick a topic that you've had some interest in and just really give yourself a couple of hours to do, or longer if you can afford the time, just to do a really good deep dive and focus in on it. This could be, maybe reading a book or two, finding a lecture on the topic, but just set aside some time for yourself to do a deep dive, study, take notes, and then just really absorb the thing that you're learning. With this new moon and waxing crescent energy, it's just a really good time to do that. So that is my fun, friendly advice for you, is to learn something new. All right, let's get right into this reading. Aquarius, January 18th through the 24th. Nothing is yet set in stone. Let's see what you guys have going on. I'm curious to know. Your overall present energy is the Emperor. Nothing is set in stone, but here comes out one of the most stable cards in the deck. As a four, the Emperor is a leader. The Emperor gets things done in a very systematic manner. This is an authority figure, just someone who gets crap done, someone who knows how to build things, someone who is established and just knows how to get things done. So that's the energy that you're taking into. I like it. Well, nothing is set in stone, but that not according to this guy, right? He knows exactly what's going on. The current situation for you is the Five of Wands, which I've seen this a little bit this week. There's a little bit of, I'm going to say debate. I'm not going to call it fighting. A little bit of debate this week with people. And it's not just you, it's in the collective, it's just in the air that we're all kind of debating some things that are going on. This could be anything, but it's just that energy, the energy of debate and wanting to share ideas back and forth, and fight back a little bit, and make sure our thing gets out there. But I always say make sure you're listening as well. But that's also your present situation. You don't get to escape it, Aquarius. Okay, at the root of your situation is the King of Swords, someone else who knows how to get things done. I call this our very logical king. This is I call it like our Mr. Spock. This is someone who knows how to get things done, but in a very logical manner. And look at both of these looking at you, just looking directly at you, kind of expectantly. What do you must have something going on where they're watching you, make sure that you're getting something done. This is something you need to do this week. Nothing is set in stone again, but all right, little debate coming up about something. Maybe there's a big decision on your horizon and they're watching to see if you're making the right decision or not. What is in your recent past here is kind of juggling your finances with the Two of Pentacles. So, this decision could be something that has to do with your material world, maybe with your job, with your money, with where you live. And again, you've got two cards that are watching you. And I feel like letting you borrow this energy a little bit, Aquarius, to make sure that you're going to do the right thing. Okay, so let's keep going. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I really am. What is on your mind this week is the Six of Pentacles, which is, and I'm not going to say this, I'm going to ask you what is going on in this card. I always do this when I'm doing in-person readings. So I don't know why, doing it online should be any different. What is happening in this card? And I will let you look at it before we talk about it. And if you said this person is giving to these other folks, that's great. If you said these people are receiving from this man, I feel like whatever your answer is kind of tells me what mode you're in. Are you in giving mode right now, or are you in receiving mode? And either is fine. So kind of whichever way you answered that is kind of that's what's on your mind. Is kind of the flow of giving and receiving, and maybe because you're kind of keeping all those pentacles in the air, right? This could be in the financial realm where and don't feel bad about either. We all go through each of these where we need to give or we need to receive, and just need to do both graciously. What is just ahead of you this week is the Three of Pentacles. So some sort of collaboration here. This can be in the creative realm, but this could also have something to do with work. But maybe some debate on the decision to get into something that's that collaborative right now. And maybe that is why these two are looking at you in this manner to see if you make the right decision. And maybe it is the right decision. And of course, it's going to be different for different Aquarians. Some of you need to go right into this creative collaboration. Some of you need to avoid it at all costs. And I think you'll know for you what's going to be right. But I feel like some opportunity does come about for you to do some sort of collaboration and create, like a creative collaboration. And it's either time for that, and that's fine to go for it and do it, or it's not time for that. And if that's the case, put it on the back burner. All right. In your advice position is the Page of Wands. So this is definitely about exploring things that do drive you and give you passion. And this is maybe, just something new that comes in. This could be, I always laugh at this card and think, if it has to do with your job, that imagine that you're at a job and you're doing great and you're in this certain department and you have to go do something in a different department and you're like, what are these people? I love what these people are doing. Can I do this? So it's kind of that new discovery thing that you're like, I didn't even know, like a door opens up and like, I didn't know this existed, that this was even a job. So I feel like the advice is to kind of keep the door open there and watch what might be budding, and it might surprise you. It might be something that you didn't even think. Um, Maybe it's a little rail off of some part of your education, right? Let's say your education was let's say your education was in teaching and you were going to go be a third grade teacher, and that's what you decided you wanted to do, elementary education, and that was it. But all of a sudden there's this little side path to that math. I don't know, maybe you decide to specialize in math and you didn't know that as an elementary ed you could do that. So it's like you find this little niche of something that's like still in the realm of what you're doing, but it's kind of a side path for you, or maybe you decide to go teach elementary education overseas. It could be that sort of thing. Just it's like what you do, but like a new discovery of what you do. I hope that makes sense. What is beyond your control this week is the High Priestess, who I've seen quite a bit of this week. I feel like all of our intuition is going to be on kind of on high alert this week. Pay attention to your dreams. We might all be getting things through our dreams, but I feel like we're all just really tuned into our intuition and our feelings. And I have kind of felt that already. So pay attention to your intuition this week. That's almost been in every reading in one way or another. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, of course you're trying to avoid this tower. So whatever this is, you're trying to avoid a big, huge disruption. I doubt if it's your secret desire. Maybe it is. I mean, I really can't answer that for you. This is your big question of the week: is are you trying to avoid a big, catastrophic tower moment? Or is it your secret desire that it all blows up and it doesn't work out? I mean, I guess it could be your secret desire. Sometimes a disruption is just what we all need to shake our lives up a little bit, and maybe you're just praying for that. Um, all right, that'll be different answers for each of you. Again, no wrong answer. You may actually want that disruption. What is in your outcome position is the Page of Pentacles. So a couple of pages here with new things, a new path. I mean, are we off on a new path again? I feel like Aquarians, that you guys have a hard time settling down. And I feel like that's been a theme. Of course, I'm learning as I'm doing these collective reads. Um, and I know Aquarians can feel a little bit detached. And is that what's happening? Like, I feel like, are we doing this again? Are we back at the new thing again? Can you guys just not just settle on a thing and hang out for a minute and take a breath and enjoy it? Nothing is set in stone. And I feel like that's pretty much a theme, like a life theme. And maybe that's just the way you guys are. And I just need to accept that. Um, yeah, I do feel like that. I feel like you guys are constantly, and that's good. I like that too. It's not that I don't like it. you guys are childlike and you're constantly, and I don't mean to be childlike like immature, but in your curiosity for things, that there's always kind of a new discovery. And it's like, oh, look at this thing. Look at this thing I found over here, but it's almost also kind of in this, I want to say like attention deficit kind of thing, like stop, pay attention to this one thing just long enough to really see if it's going to stick with you. And maybe you guys are quicker at turning the page than the rest of us, so that you're exploring quicker, if that makes sense. The rest of us might explore and it takes us a year to make a decision, where Aquarians, you guys are like, yeah, I've done this for a week, I'm done, let's out, let's move. So drop me a comment down below and let me know if that is an Aquarian thing, because I feel like I've noticed that in the readings for you guys. All right, what is hidden from you this week is thinking about the future with the Two of Wands. So you're not even really whatever's happening, again, you're not really thinking too far into the future, just your immediate future. Trust your intuition. I'm going to say that. You've got some new financial thing that's coming in for you. Of course, you were just hoping for that because you're back here juggling it. Are you giving? Are you receiving? Should you enter into this? This will be your big question of the week, but you're not really thinking about the future. I feel like you're thinking, or not the far off future anyway. You might just be right on your immediate future. And again, I just get that feeling almost from all of your readings. I would have to go through time to listen to all of them that I've done, but I just get that feeling that that's how you guys are. You just don't stay in one place too long, and you make those decisions very quickly. And I almost want to say, like, you're like, well, I'm going to have green hair today, but tomorrow I'm going to have purple hair. I don't really like that purple hair. I'm going to change it to pink next week. You know what I mean? It's like no one even can recognize you because things are changing so rapidly, and that's just how you are. Almost, like I would want to just say, stop, just take a breath, take a breath. Can we take a breath? Maybe you can't, Aquarius, and maybe that's just how you are, and the rest of us need to accept that. So let me work on accepting that of you. Anyway, nothing is set in stone, so whatever you're exploring here, I guess continue exploring it until you get to a place where you feel like, okay, that's what it is for me. All right, final message here from the Soul Oracle deck for Aquarius is to retreat. Well, I doubt that's going to happen, especially. Is there retreating? Where? Maybe in this situation here, maybe retreat again. Make sure you're listening. Anytime there's debate going on, make sure you're learning also. Retreat with this tower situation, maybe. Okay, you'll know what that retreat means. Let's get a self-care wisdom card for you. What does Aquarius need to do in the way of self-care this week? Self-care, and the card that you get is friend. Be as good a friend to yourself as you are to others. So be good to yourself this week. Maybe these new things are about indulging a little bit materially, indulging a little bit in your passions and what you like to do. And that's okay too. I feel like you guys, it's like, I just want to tell you to take a breath and stick with something for a minute, right? Yeah, that's just the way I'm feeling through this. I don't know why. Drop me a comment down below if you know why I'm feeling like that. Anyway, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I do wish you luck with all of this, and I hope this reading has been helpful in some way to you. Let me grab a drink. Also, make sure you're speaking up. Anytime that I get a little like that in my throat when I'm doing a reading, say your piece as well. You do need to listen, but also make sure that you're standing your own ground there. Anyway, okay, I'm done with that. Aquarius, thanks for being here. If you like my reading style, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. I appreciate that. But more importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Aquarius, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.